Okay, I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. In the Japanese version, there is a set of boobs in this movie. The only set of boobs you will ever see in a Godzilla movie. And don't worry, parents, and sorry, guys. The boobs are even faker than the ones in Total Recall. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, so now we are at the last movie of the original Godzilla series, also known as the Showa series. Terror of Mechagodzilla. And it hasn't been since 1955 that we got a Godzilla movie that's a direct sequel to the last Godzilla movie. So Terror of Mechagodzilla reveals that the aliens from the third planet of the black hole have survived the events of the last movie, including their leader, who was in the last movie. They've teamed up with Dr. Shinji Mifune, played by a Toho veteran, Akihiko Hirata, who's famous for playing Dr. Serizawa in the original Godzilla, and who was in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, though he's playing a completely different character this time. At his side is his daughter, Katsura. Mifune has control over an aquatic dinosaur called Titanosaurus, who has the second most irritating roar next to Gabra. The aliens once again plan to take over the world, and once again Godzilla comes in to stop them. However, this time, Godzilla has no ally, while Mechagodzilla does. Now, this movie, in terms of the monsters, is like the last movie, except, again, the ally is now against Godzilla. This movie takes a more serious tone than the last movie. Well, more serious than the last couple of movies, I might say. I mean, you've got Akira Ifukube coming back to do a new score since Destroy All Monsters. And you got Ishiro Honda back in the director's chair directing what would be his final Godzilla movie. The problem with this movie trying to take a serious tone is, I mean, not that it fails, it's just the Godzilla suit. It's the same looking suit from the past two Godzilla movies, except he looks meaner this time. And the suit actor performs Godzilla the same way he did the last two movies. There are also quite a few moments where you can see Titanosaurus dancing around, which just looks, I don't know, it just looks a bit odd. And there's even one moment where Titanosaurus grabs Godzilla by the mouth, with his own mouth, and lifts him up into the air over and over again. And plus, for Honda being in the director's chair, there is a little bit of overacting, but only a little bit. Doesn't do much to hurt. And those silver jumpsuits that the aliens wear just still look weird, especially now they have helmets with these little pointy antennas out here. But it still gets some really cool monster action, it's still got a really good score. But the one thing that saves this movie, aside from the monster action, aside from the music, and aside from Honda's direction, is one name. One name that makes this one of the best of the 70s Godzilla movies. Tomoko Ai. She plays Katsura and is probably the most complex human character since Emiko and Dr. Serizawa from the original Godzilla movie. She's the love interest for a main character who is rather boring, but for being the love interest and for being the daughter of a scientist who's teamed up with the aliens, this puts her in a situation that makes her torn between her loyalties to her father and the aliens that control Mechagodzilla, and doing what she actually feels is right. I won't ruin any more details about this character, but basically, she's a character that I really liked. One of the best human characters of the entire franchise. And there's one action she does in this movie that is really, when it happens, it's really emotionally powerful. Well, as emotionally powerful as you can get with a Godzilla suit that looks like that. So in conclusion, the series has had its ups and downs. It started out really strong and then just kind of went downhill. But I think Terror of Mechagodzilla was more than a satisfying way to end the series. It's the second best of the 70s Godzilla movies, or maybe tied with Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla because of how much I liked Katsura. But whatever the case, it's really good. This is the first time in a long time that I really cared about a human character in a Godzilla movie, and it's definitely worth seeing in your lifetime. This was definitely a satisfying end to the original Godzilla series. Unfortunately, the movie did not make any money in Japan when it first came out, which forced Toho to give the King of the Monsters a 9-year retirement. So that's my review for Terror of Mechagodzilla and the entire Showa Godzilla series. Leave a comment if you've seen Terror of Mechagodzilla, if you like it, agree with me, disagree with me, all that good stuff. And I will see you tomorrow when we start up the Heisei Godzilla series. So until tomorrow, I will see you guys then. Bye.